Minister, I'm interested in this line of questioning we've got around how it is that we're going to measure progress of the ministry and impact. Going back to the discussion you're having with Dr. Webb around the flood dust example, am I right in assuming then that the Ministry of Regulation is going to claim as wins things that could have been? So as has been established in the select committee process, you said it was not precise language, others would argue incorrect language, to claim that there was a measurement for flour already occurring. In fact, it was only under consultation. My question is,
I can answer your question straight away if you like.
You can answer that, but I'll have some supplementaries.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely, because one of the ministry's key roles is to improve the process of making new rules. So yes, we absolutely intend not only to measure improvements to rules that already exist, but also improvements to rules that might have been made. I would say that they're equally important. So
what analysis are you putting in place to ascertain whether or not a normal consultation process couldn't have picked that up? In fact, it was revealed through MB's consultation process that that was not going to be a tenable standard. So what is the cost-benefit analysis that the Ministry of Regulation is doing on its own work, and what could be achieved far more cost-effectively in other agencies?
Well, again, if you look at the reviews that we've done, the benefits that they deliver are vastly greater than the entire budget of the ministry. Now, you could, of course, argue that if the ministry didn't exist, then regulations might have improved through other processes. The fact is that they didn't. And I suspect one of the biggest reasons for that is that once you put in place a specific process and say, right, we're going to go out, we're going to listen to the people who are regulated and say importing agricultural and horticultural products, we're going to have someone within government making the case for them that, actually these rules are wrong and need to be done differently. And often, and Grania will tell you often that, they have quite, shall we say, robust conversations with regulators about, no, I think these regulated parties are right, you need to rethink this. So if your question is, can you exactly apportion a dollar figure to how much?
No, that wasn't my question.
I don't think you can. But
the question was whether or not the Ministry of Regulation will be doing cost-benefit analysis on its own vis-a-vis alternative ways of monitoring regulation. My question is for you, Minister.
Yeah. Well, so to the extent that we can easily point to savings that are a large multiple of the Ministry for Regulation's budget. Now, you could argue that.
So you will be doing CBAs?
Well, no. What I'm saying is that you can point to dramatic savings from.
So no CBAs. That's all I needed to know. Just in terms of the $17 million.
I'm also explaining why.
No, they're fine. We've got limited time. Just wanted to clarify whether or not the Ministry of Regulation would be submitting itself to its own cost-benefit analysis.
Well, that's a different question. If you'd like me to answer that question, I can.
You've already spent, Minister. You've already told us you won't be doing international benchmarking.
No, that's not correct.
Sorry, my questions are for the Minister. You've already told us you won't be doing international benchmarking with other agencies in response to earlier
I haven't said that.
What I want to know then, you've made claims to this committee that your ministry is achieving things that international comparators have not. What advice have you received around our ability to benchmark?
First of all, if you need to constantly paraphrase and claim that I've said things that I haven't, then I think the public will make up their mind who's being misrepresented here. Second of all, if I can just refer, it is nice to be polite to our guests. And Grania would like to address a question you just made, so I'll give her that opportunity in case you'd like.
Particularly around international benchmarking.
Okay, yes, but with all due respect, Minister, this is the time for the select committee to question you as Minister. If you need your officials to step in for you,
I mean, I just think we're going to make a great video of the behaviour of Labour MPs on this committee, and I think people are going to decide whatever happens next year, we don't want them back over here.
Okay, let's put it to the Chief Executive.
Well, I'll make it very quick. I think, first of all, the range of work that the ministry does is quite varied and significant, and that's appropriate because the regulated parties all have different pain points. It might be interesting for the members to know that of the tips that have come through the tip line, 70% of people have told us they have not raised these issues with previous government departments. So it's a really good opportunity to hear about pain points. It would not be a good use of taxpayers' money to analyse everything and do a full CBA on it, but there will be cost-benefit analysis done at appropriate levels across the range of our work. Internationally, we have been reaching out and people have been reaching out to us. Our model of working is actually slightly different to many of the other international players, and that's because we're actually doing things and been given levers by government to either stop not helpful new regulations and improve current regulations. We will continue, because it is only our first year, to work with those international people, learn from them and benchmark where appropriate.
Okay, I'm conscious of time. We're in the last 7 minutes. I'm going to go to Jamie Arbuckle, New Zealand First.
Thank you, Minister. You were going to say something, Gary. David Seymour's methods for not having to answer the question that he's being asked. I mean, to me, it's I just explode every time I see it because it's his standard response, and yet, but also it's the telltale that the questions are close to the bone.
Yeah.
If you look at the different way he answers the Patsy questions from the government side.
Oh, there's gaping.
Yeah, it's
Discrepancies.
worlds apart.
Yeah, like
He has lots of ways of saying. He has lots of ways of saying, "I'm not going to answer your question," while he's. Yeah.
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 It really, really annoys me. But it annoys me that he's good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, actually, speaking to that comment that I just pulled up, one-term government, don't get comfortable. I have just recently learned, thanks to a fantastic creator on TikTok named Ash Reborn, that the Regulatory Standards Bill is a paramount piece of legislation that must pass for the coalition to continue. So if we, the people of New Zealand, can make it fail, we can force a snap election.
Excellent. Let's do that.
It's going to be a fuckload more work for Sam and I with 2 loads of elections in 1 year.
Well, can we even sit down there and try to actually pull off venue hiring? Considering, I mean, it took like from when I tried to start approaching venues, it was 6 months. Like 90% of the venues were booked in February. However, the last one, I only got an email today to finalise the last venue. I knew it was somewhat confirmed, but it's been finalised today.
But we were booking very far in the future. I'm sure if they were a lot closer in time, those replies would come back a lot quicker.
Yes, that is true. Yes, you are right.
So yeah, it will cause a lot more work for Sam and I running a whole second set of election shows in 1 year.
Well, I mean, could we even sit down there and actually, like, will we be able to go around the country like we do our normal show, or will we have to try and, like, bulk slab it in certain locations and basically go, can you drive here, can you come remotely?
I'm sure by that time I will have a car of my own and I'll gladly sleep in it to get the coverage we need.
I'm sure that in that circumstance, people would not mind if we ran completely remote shows.
and just leave it for the big centres or the places where we can basically ring up and get a booking on the hoof, like All Saints in Hamilton.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, right. We should continue.
Yes,
hey, look, we've nearly made it halfway through this video already. Fuck, we're doing good compared to last night.